Hello. Welcome to our lab shop. We've streamlined things so you can order directly. That means there's no lag in trying to get your order placed, paid for, the lab to send it to you. Now you can order it directly through Rupa Health and through us. They will ship the packages to you directly for any of these labs. And depending on the lab, you'll either do it at home and mail it in, or you'll take it to a lab such as Any Labs Now. And they'll draw the blood for you if it's a blood draw. Urinary, stool, saliva, many of the tests can be done at home. So it'll just depend on which ones. Now, the ones I have highlighted here are my three favorites, the ones that I want everyone to get before you start working with me and as we work together, so that I can monitor and target exactly the fastest path forward for you to be feeling better, right? One thing is new. So I've used GI Map for a long time now, and that is great for looking at the colon microbiome. I want you all to remember that the microbiome is really the hollow biome, which is all over the entire body. We have a different microbiome for our nervous system than for our eye, for our ear, for our lungs, for our kidney. These are all very unique, and one microbe that is needed in one area can be very problematic in another area. But I like to start with the GI map. It lets us know the mucosal level, so what I can do with you that's going to help and hurt. If you've ever noticed that you may have not benefited from a protocol that worked for someone else, or a supplement or a diet, it's very often mucosal related. So I love to see what stage of mucosal collapse we're in so that I know how to proceed safely forward. That's the GI map. Now, the second one is the CytoDX, and this allows me to see where where the cytokines are, which ones are too high, which ones are too low. And I can't tell you how incredibly important this is. So trust me when I say that speeds up the ability to get you to the right place in the right time without guessing. Third is the cell science. That's my other third favorite one. And this replaces the SpectraCell that I've used for so long to look at the intracellular nutritional panel. That means what is actually getting absorbed into the cell rather than vitamin, mineral, amino acid. So it allows us to see what is actually getting absorbed into the cell from the serum as opposed to what is just floating around the serum. If you've ever had a CBC and they've added on, say, a vitamin D panel or a B12, and it says that you have excess, very often the excess in the serum is a deficiency within the cell. If you're familiar with the way that diabetes works, it's not dissimilar. So we always want to be looking at what is actually getting into the cell that you can use for your ATP energy and all the rest. So those are my three favorite tests. Now, why I've switched to cell science over SpectraCell. I still love SpectraCell, and we can still order that for you. I just chose cell science over SpectraCell now because it tests for over 20 more nutrients and it's half the cost and it's still looking within the cell. So it's a triple win. That's it. Both are still really good. You get things like iodine and some of the other factors in that. So last thing to know is that we have access to over 30,000 labs. So these aren't the only ones that we can run. These are just the most common ones I tend to ask for and that are the most helpful for the kind of work that I do so that I can help you with the best leg forward. Please consider getting these before we meet, and please consider getting these as progress steps as we go through so that we can monitor your progress and make sure we're headed in the correct direction.